Look, we all talk about how high his basketball IQ is, historically high. There's no way LeBron is sitting there watching Luka shoot 30 shots and miss 2/3 of them, thinking that's smart.
Yeah, and take a turnaround contested jump shot while he watches.
I'm not saying I definitely am not saying he has any issue with Luka or anything, but he's watching this. There's no way he thinks that's the best way to play basketball. I will say that.
Okay.
He is smiling in every post-game photo, standing on the sideline cheering for Luka's 60-point game, calling him magical and dynamic at press conferences, predicting many more game winners for him in a Lakers uniform, telling reporters it is the role that he is playing for the ball club, posting "still" in all capitals on Instagram, going out of his way at every available opportunity to project the image of a 41-year-old champion who has found peace with his supporting role and is genuinely, completely, entirely fine. He is fine. And Chris Broussard just went on national television on Fox Sports and told the entire basketball world exactly why that smile is the most expensive performance LeBron James has delivered all season. There is no way that a player with historically high basketball IQ is sitting on the bench watching Luka Doncic shoot 30 shots and miss 2/3 of them and thinking to himself, that is smart basketball.
No, man, they hate Luka Doncic, bro. They hate Luka so much that they want Luka to fail, even if it means the Lakers will fail, which would mean LeBron fails. They want him to fail that bad. They do videos about him every night, crying and lives when Luka's this, Luka's that, Luka doesn't pass the ball, Luka doesn't do this, Luka's this. The guy will have like 45, 10, and 12.
No way. Not the player who has never once in 23 professional seasons accepted a basketball situation he did not control. Not the player whose outsized ego Jeannie Buss privately grumbled about for 8 years. Not the player whose overt control over the organization through Clutch Sports shaped every roster decision from the Russell Westbrook trade to the Bronny draft pick. Not the player who stood on a stage in Miami in 2010 and promised not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6. That player. Watching Luka shoot 30 and miss 20, smiling, clapping, calling it magical.
Directly at the balance between Luka and LeBron and question if the King believes the current shot distribution is a long-term solution for the Lakers, even if the results show otherwise. Look.
Chris Broussard does not believe it for a single second, and neither should you.
Look, we all talk about how high his basketball IQ is, historically high. There's no way LeBron is sitting there watching Luka shoot 30 shots and miss 2/3 of them, thinking that's smart.
Yeah, and take a turnaround contested jump shot while he watches.
I'm not saying I definitely am not saying he has any issue with Luka or anything, but he's watching this. There's no way he thinks that's the best way to play basketball. I will say that.
Okay. Then.
And I think he realizes, though, this is the only way we can win. If I deplete myself the way Dwayne Wade, not this much, but did a little bit for LeBron, this is the best way we can win. But he knows that's not smart basketball.
Well, listen.
And that's why, as great as I think Luka is, and Nick, I said the other day, very few people have ever been better offensively.
There is no way he thinks that is the best way to play basketball. Chris Broussard said that on Fox Sports 1 on March 25, 2026. And then the internet tried to file it as just another hot take from a commentator generating content on a slow news day. It is not a hot take. It is the most precise diagnosis of what is actually happening inside the Los Angeles Lakers organization that any national media figure has delivered all season. Because Broussard is not guessing about LeBron's basketball philosophy. He is applying 23 years of documented evidence about how LeBron James thinks about the game to a situation that produces only one possible conclusion. LeBron James believes in ball movement, in pace and space, in the read and react offense, where the ball finds the open man and nobody holds it for 22 seconds while the shot clock winds toward chaos. He has preached that philosophy publicly and privately and through every coaching hire and roster preference request he has ever made. It is the foundation of the "I get more joy from the fancy pass than from scoring" identity that Jeff Teague described on Club 520. It is the reason the elevation of teammates argument exists as LeBron's greatest weapon in the GOAT debate. And he is watching Luka Doncic dribble the shot clock into single digits on possession after possession, shooting 11 for 29 against the Pistons, 3 for 13 from 3, going 0 for 5 in the fourth quarter of the game that ended the 9-game winning streak, while LeBron stood off to the side processing the play unfolding and patiently waiting for his moment. There is no way he thinks that is the best way to play basketball. Broussard said it. The basketball philosophy LeBron has preached for 2 decades confirms it. And the smile in the post-game photo cannot change either one.
But what's going on is that the Lakers need LeBron to be Chris Bosh or Kevin Love.
Oh,
That's what they need. And when you have a ball-dominant, over-dribbling superstar who's also your best scorer, all right, you can only have one other big scorer.
Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, 2 players who sacrificed their statistical identities to accommodate LeBron James's gravitational presence on championship rosters, who went from primary options on their own teams to the third star in a constellation that revolved entirely around LeBron and his co-star, who got their rings and their championships and their legacy footnotes and spent years afterward processing the specific psychological cost of what the accommodation required. Chris Bosh averaged 24 points per game in Toronto before LeBron arrived in Miami. He averaged 18 in his first season with the Heat. Kevin Love averaged 26 points per game in Minnesota before LeBron arrived in Cleveland. He averaged 16 in his first season with the Cavaliers. And Chris Broussard looked at the current Los Angeles Lakers and said the Lakers need LeBron to be Chris Bosh or Kevin Love, the player who was the franchise centerpiece for 22 years, who the system always bent around, whose gravitational presence shaped the identity of every roster he ever joined. Be Chris Bosh or Kevin Love. And then Broussard delivered the sentence that makes the whole thing land like a grenade. 22 years as a superstar. You can't be a role player. Not won't be. Not refuses to be. Can't be. The wiring is wrong. The identity is incompatible. 22 years of being the engine does not produce a player who can sit off the ball while a 27-year-old dribbles the shot clock into single digits and feels genuinely fine about it. LeBron is smiling in the photos. Chris Broussard is telling you the smile costs something. I will say this, though. I think he realizes this is the only way they can win. If I deplete myself the way Dwayne Wade did a little bit for LeBron, this is the best way we can win, but he knows that's not smart basketball. He knows that's not smart basketball. That is the sentence that destroys the post-game smile from the inside. Because Broussard is not saying LeBron is selfish. He is not saying LeBron is sabotaging the team. He is saying something far more devastating than either of those things. He is saying LeBron James is consciously participating in a system he privately believes is wrong. That he has done the calculation. That the calculation says this is the only way they can win. That he has accepted the role of Dwayne Wade, depleting himself so the alpha can thrive. Except in this version, LeBron is Wade. And the alpha is a 27-year-old Slovenian averaging 33 points per game and being called a Hall of Fame ball hog by the same analyst making this argument, depleting himself the way Wade did for LeBron in Miami, when LeBron was the reason Miami could win championships and Wade understood it and accepted the cost and averaged 18 points on a roster that needed him to average 25. That was Wade's sacrifice, made for LeBron. In 2010, this is LeBron's sacrifice, made for Luka, in 2026. And Broussard is telling you that LeBron James is smart enough to make it and unhappy enough about it simultaneously that the smile in the post-game photo is the most carefully managed performance he has delivered since The Decision aired in 2010 and Cleveland found out minutes before the rest of the world.
He's treating LeBron like Chris Bosh and Kevin Love felt when it was LeBron and D-Wade and LeBron and Kyrie.
How Chris Bosh and Kevin Love felt. Broussard said that in February, before the March 25th episode. before the "there is no way he thinks that is the best way to play basketball" quote. He was already building the argument then, already connecting the current situation to the historical precedent, already describing the emotional texture of what it feels like to be the third star on a LeBron James roster. Now LeBron is the one feeling it, from the other side, as the third star, as the player whose usage fell from 29.1 to 21.3%. As the player standing off to the side while Luka controls every fraction of every possession the way LeBron used to control every fraction of every possession in Cleveland and Miami and the early Los Angeles years. How Chris Bosh and Kevin Love felt, now applied to LeBron James. By the same analyst who spent years describing what Bosh and Love went through in real time. The irony would be satisfying if it were not also the most precise possible description of what Yardbarker captured on March 21st, when they described LeBron standing off to the side, processing the play unfolding, and patiently waiting for his moment rather than forcing it. That used to be LeBron James. Now he is off to the side, like Bosh, like Love, while the alpha controls every possession that matters. Maybe it's coincidence. Or maybe LeBron's camp is starting to feel like this big three can't fit together and decided to sound the alarms. Sound the alarms. Awful Announcing noticed something in February that the mainstream media did not want to say directly. Multiple analysts turning on Luka Doncic in the same week. The same general argument appearing across multiple platforms simultaneously. The same narrative about the ball hog and the Hall of Fame ball hog and the "he may never win a championship" landing on Fox Sports and ESPN and everywhere in between within days of each other. Coincidence? Or LeBron's camp? The same camp that tried to end Stephen A. Smith's career, according to Stephen A. Smith himself. That placed stories, managed narratives, shaped coverage, influenced which conversations happened at which moments across 2 decades of the most sophisticated brand management in professional sports history. LeBron's camp. Sounding the alarms. Because the third option role is producing a 21% usage rate and a scoreless first half against the Pistons, and a -14 plus-minus in 18 minutes, and a performance of contentment that Chris Broussard just told Fox Sports one cannot possibly be genuine. There is no way he thinks that is the best way to play basketball. The camp is sounding the alarms, the analyst is reading the room, the smile is in the post-game photos. And Luka Doncic is averaging 33 points per game and shooting 30 attempts on the nights it is not working, and receiving standing ovations from opposing arenas, and being called magical and dynamic by the player who privately knows that 30 shots and 2/3 misses is not smart basketball. Here is the complete picture that Chris Broussard assembled across 3 months of first things first appearances without ever once saying LeBron James is miserable. He cannot be a role player. 22 years as a superstar. The wiring is wrong. There is no way he thinks 30 shots and 2/3 misses is smart. He is depleting himself the way Wade depleted himself for him. He knows it is not smart basketball. He is treating Luka the way Bosh and Love felt. The numbers clearly say they are better without him. The Hall of Fame ball hog is taking 30 shots, and LeBron is standing off to the side processing the play. Not saying he has any issue with Luka. Not saying he is unhappy. Not saying the smile is fake. Just saying there is no way that a player with historically high basketball IQ is watching what he is watching and thinking what the smile in the post-game photo says he is thinking. The smile says he is fine. Chris Broussard says he knows that is not smart basketball. Both things are true simultaneously. And the summer of 2026, when the $47 million in cap space opens and the widely expected split happens, and Cleveland waits for the return that John Wall and Jason Lloyd and Brian Windhorst and Sam Quinn have all described from different directions, will tell you which one was the truth and which one was the performance. LeBron James is smiling, clapping, calling it magical, saying it is the role. And Chris Broussard is on Fox Sports 1 telling 23 million viewers that there is no way he means any of it. Drop a comment right now. Hit that like button. Subscribe. The smile is in the photos. The camp is sounding the alarms. The usage rate is at 21.3%. Luka is shooting 30 shots. LeBron is standing off to the side. And Chris Broussard just told Fox Sports 1 that there is no way, that the player with the historically high basketball IQ thinks any of this is the best way to play basketball. The smile costs something. The summer will show the receipt.